When an enterprise network goes dark, the impact is measurable in seconds. Productivity stops, revenue degrades, and the reputational damage can last well beyond the restoration of service. Corporate networks have evolved into complex matrices of virtualized environments, cloud-based services, and software-defined architectures. In this environment, the speed of fault isolation, the time it takes to move from a reported symptom to a confirmed cause, dictates the overall resilience of the organization. Resolving these outages can no longer rely on ad hoc guesswork or intuition. Modern troubleshooting requires strict adherence to standardized diagnostic frameworks. To learn these frameworks, IT professionals typically follow one of two industry standard pathways: the CompTIA Network Plus N10-009 or the Cisco CCNA 200-301 version 1.1. The CompTIA track is vendor-neutral, emphasizing broad, universal concepts that apply to any networking ecosystem. The Cisco CCNA is vendor-specific, focusing on the deep operational mastery of proprietary hardware and configurations. This chart shows the primary trade-off. You are choosing between learning the universal mapping of an entire infrastructure versus the ability to surgically manipulate the internal mechanics of a specific enterprise standard. Neither certification is a replacement for the other. They represent different operational philosophies and require a different investment of study time. Before reaching specific vendor tools, both certifications rely on the OSI model. This is the universal map engineers use to logically structure an investigation. The OSI model dictates 3 analytical strategies. Top-down starts at layer 7 for specific software failures. Bottom-up resolves widespread outages by verifying physical cables first. Experienced engineers prefer divide and conquer, targeting layer 3 with a ping to instantly verify the entire physical path. Mastering these strategies allows an engineer to systematically eliminate variables, ensuring they don't waste critical time during an outage chasing false leads. The CompTIA Network Plus N10-009 targets the generalist. It prepares you to isolate faults across diverse, multi-vendor environments that might use hardware from several different manufacturers. The CompTIA 6-step framework demands strict intellectual discipline. It mandates questioning obvious failure points and forbids configuration changes until a theory is tested. Step 3 includes a formal off-ramp. If an engineer lacks knowledge or administrative rights, the framework requires immediate escalation rather than guessing. This conservative approach prevents a junior tech from triggering a cascading outage, though it often results in a slower initial resolution than having a specialized expert on site. Because the focus is universal, you work with generic tools, Wi-Fi analyzers, cable testers, and standard command line utilities like traceroute. This methodology ensures an engineer can locate the source of a network failure, even lacking the specific access required to implement the final repair. The Cisco CCNA focuses on surgical manipulation. It prepares you to manage the internal routing and switching mechanics directly within a Cisco enterprise infrastructure. This requires absolute fluency in the Cisco iOS command line interface. You must be able to interpret the raw output of real-time show and debug queries to extract hardware telemetry. Contrasting CompTIA's final step of documentation, the Cisco 8-step methodology emphasizes active implementation. You execute changes directly on hardware and observe the data plane in real time. Step 7's iterative loop is high stakes. If a configuration fails, the engineer instantly reverts it to prevent configuration drift. This provides deep visibility into complex issues like MAC address flapping or spanning tree failures, but comes at the cost of intense memorization and higher failure rates in simulation exams. There is also the matter of vendor lock-in. Specialized knowledge of Cisco command syntax loses immediate relevance if you move to an environment running Juniper or Aruba hardware. Ultimately, the CCNA offers deep operational authority, demanding a larger upfront time investment in exchange for the tools to repair enterprise-scale infrastructure. Both certifications are moving toward a transition point. Effective February 2026, Cisco will rename its entire DevNet track to the Automation track, signaling a shift away from manual troubleshooting. This chart compares mean time to resolution. Traditional manual CLI troubleshooting stretches out endlessly. Centralized AI controllers, however, ingest telemetry data to predict congestion before it happens.
AI-assisted assurance lets engineers use natural language to isolate failures, reducing hours of manual testing into seconds. The future of diagnostics relies on infrastructure as code. Engineers will increasingly troubleshoot automated configuration scripts in Python or JSON, rather than logging into individual routers. The value of manual CLI memorization is decreasing. The highest value engineers will be those who pivot toward managing proactive automation rather than reacting to broken hardware. The choice comes down to your current career objectives. The Network Plus provides the framework to locate a fault across any network. The CCNA provides the proprietary commands to repair a Cisco environment. This decision matrix maps these certifications to specific career targets. If you are entering the industry through a help desk or junior sysadmin role, the CompTIA Network Plus is the logical starting point. It builds the broad literacy required to support diverse IT departments. While it offers an accessible entry point, the trade-off is a lower ceiling for specialized networking salaries compared to engineering tracks. For those targeting a dedicated network engineer role, the CCNA remains the industry standard. CLI mastery establishes enterprise-grade credibility. This unlocks higher baseline salaries, but it requires rigid memorization and commits you, at least initially, to a specific vendor's hardware ecosystem. Regardless of the path you choose today, long-term success requires adapting these frameworks to the 2026 wave of AI-driven automation. The goal is no longer just to fix what is broken, but to manage the systems that prevent failures before they happen.